This is Judge Joe Brown.
Now, here's something that I want to make very clear. Black people know economics. The Africans want to come to America so they can take advantage of the economic opportunities. The people from the Caribbean want to come to America so they can take advantage of the economic opportunities. You're in Jamaica and somebody is telling you he's got to go because he's got to be up and open his shop by 7 a.m. We don't get it. You see, our culture has for a long time valued shiny little trinkets. We are not going to get any economic prosperity in old line markets because they are glutted, they're consolidating, they're becoming mega giants that have the advantage of extremely large lots and units in which they buy. We can't compete with that. Our salvation, if it lies, will be with technology when some of our young black people start getting into science, technology, engineering, and math and invent something so you can have the equivalent of a dot-com revolution where there is a new something that opens up that is not glutted, that one of us made the key invention to open up. And until we do that, we don't get it because we keep talking about going back to late Stone Age subsistence farming. We talk about getting land. Well, how are we going to defend the damn land? And we got this Pollyanna thing, this kumbaya thing about we're going to get rid of the Constitution and we're going to get some land. And if you do, and I'm still halfway healthy, I'm going to put a whole lot of people on the wall, shoot them, all the pimps, hoes, drug dealers, prostitutes, all of the robbers, thieves, rapists, and murderers. I'm going to put them on a wall and shoot them. And I'm going to shoot most of the black leadership because, in my opinion, they're irrelevant, and I'll be fearless leader. And if not me, somebody like me. So, I mean, we got to start thinking real instead of in pipe dream, trinkets, shiny objects, and insignificant symbolism. This is real. The world
Amen.
is rough. It's not a fair place. The universe is not a fair place. And we keep running around like some kind of kumbaya nonsense is going to suddenly occur and somebody's going to give us something. One of us touched on it earlier when we first started off today. Bishop, I think it was you. You said something about explaining what the different branches of government do. We're listening to jackasses talk about what they're going to do about reparations or not reparations, and they don't have the constitutional authority to do a damn thing about it. It's got to be an Appropriations and Enablement Act that comes out of Congress, the House and the Senate.
Come on now, Judge.
And we are stupid enough to go around talking about the answer to our problems is reparations. Damn fool, get up off your dumb butts and understand it's like a lottery. It would be damn fine if you won it, but to plan your whole life around all we need is reparations and everything's going to be all right, you are a damn fool. And if you do get reparations, I'm going to take a considerable portion of my money and invest in athletic shoe places so I can get some of your damn money back when you spend it on Jordans and Nikes.
Radio, DJ.
One nation, one station.
This show is sponsored by myoliveleaf.biz, myoliveleaf.biz.
Ginger Surprise. Please contact Hoshea or visit gingersurprise.com for details.
And the Hurricane Report, merchandise, and more.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
You know, there were a lot of things over the weekend that made us scratch our heads, but none more so than the fact that Kanye West announced that he is running for president. It feels like a publicity stunt, but here's what you need to know about Kanye's campaign.
I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
I'm living in that 21st century.
Kanye is 100% running for president. That's what a source tells ET, adding, Kim is always unwavering in her support and loves that he isn't afraid of what people think about him. But for the most part, Hollywood isn't having it. Actress Octavia Spencer tweeted, "Too much foolishness today. Hashtag sit all the way down." Tiffany Haddish joked, "I too am running for president of the United States." John Stamos posted this campaign pic as VP for his former Full House co-star, joking, "And if anything should happen to Saget." And this meme was our favorite, Keeping Up with the Kardashians White House edition. So is Kanye for real, or is this a publicity stunt? He did just drop new music.
They don't want Kanye to be Kanye.
Well, our source claims the White House dream is legit, and it's the same way when he launched his fashion brand. He was obsessed. But we're told there are others who are close to Kanye who think he's being impractical and is just caught up in the moment. In fact, apparently Kanye has no campaign organization, hasn't filed any paperwork, and has missed the ballot deadline in several key states.
All right, guys. Well, right now you're listening to the voice of Valerie Denise Jones. I hope and pray that you're having a great day. Please meet me on Instagram at Valerie Denise Jones, and also Miss MS Valerie Denise Jones. Got a great edit for you today. We're going to talk about Kanye West running for office. Haven't had a chance to ask Judge Joe Brown about it, so stay tuned for that update. Oh yeah, and before I forget, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Hit the like button and also sign up for the alerts. Check please to make sure your alerts haven't been deactivated, and if they have, then go on and hit the button again. Outside of that, I will meet you guys down in the comment section. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Please join me on Patreon, patreon.com/Valerie Denise Jones. Still trying to build up that environment due to copyright claims and sensitive content laws and legalities over here. So please make sure you join me on patreon.com/Valerie Denise Jones. Big shout out to all the new Patreon members. I love you guys to life, and we'll show you some love on the actual site itself. And also, I got a Cash App from Carlton Ingram, INGRAM, and also Sahim Zayed, I think, SAHIMZAID, and Stanley DROCO5. And much love to Sharon SHARROEND Mangum, who sent a PayPal tithe. So again, thank you guys so much. All right, so what I want to do right now, again, I haven't had a chance to ask Judge how he feels about Kanye running for office, but he did want to let you guys know, he and the panel wanted to let you guys know how they felt or how they feel about Biden. So let's get started.
Keep up to George Washington, because he is the father of our nation. And you know, he chopped down a cherry tree, couldn't tell a lie.
Bishop,
and all those kind of
can I introduce something in here?
Things.
Right now, you've got somebody running as the Democratic candidate for president, Joe Biden. And I can remember hearing him back in the late 60s when he was lamenting the fact that because of the proximity of Delaware, that's his state, to Washington, D.C., Delaware could not secede from the Union to support the South, and how glorious Delaware's tradition was as a slave-holding state. He said that. He also said in the 60s, when he was first into politics, that he thought desegregation was going to let animals into the schools and would make them zoos. And he said he was not going to let his children go to school in a zoo with animals, meaning black people. Now, he's the one that all the colored folks seem to love, and they call Donald Trump a racist when Joe Biden has over and over again expressed his racism. We hear from CNN, MSNBC that Trump is a racist, but nobody talks about the racism that Biden spouted. In the 70s, when he was newly in the U.S. Senate, he's been in there 47 years, since he started in the Senate, he said in a ceremony he was conducting for that racist ass, Faubus, for that racist ass, John B. Stennis, for that racist ass, George Wallace, and others, that he held them to be his heroes, to be his mentors, and most important to this discussion, he dedicated the rest of his career to following in their footsteps. So we don't know what George Washington would have done about the Union. We don't know what Thomas Jefferson would have done about the Union, both of whom were from Virginia, like Robert E. Lee was. But we certainly know Joe Biden has said when he regretted that Delaware did not secede from the Union because it was a slave-holding state. Now, he said that. You can still get tapes and listen to him yourself say these things. And why are we supporting something like that?
But once again, Judge, it proves we pick and choose. We pick and choose, and it's not even we that do it. It's the establishment that does it. It picks and chooses its heroes and its villains. They can have the exact same record, the exact same propensity for evil, but they.
Well, look, what I'm saying is, we didnn't pick and choose.
Our choices have been, and they've
Negroes
themselves.
So
both parties have said they're giving us choices of the lesser of two evils.
Bishop, they didn't give them a choice. These Negroes are so ignorant, they aren't even making a choice because they don't know enough about what they're supposed to be choosing. They just are doing a Pavlovian response to the dinner bell, and they're salivating. The dog whistle blew, and the dogs are running to the kennel.
Joe Biden has dementia. Not only that, when you saw him, I got to say this. I got to get this off my chest. When I saw him, I was in the room with Dr. Dawson when he was here, right? And Joe Biden was staring at Pete Buttigieg's behind like it was a Thanksgiving turkey, and he was a kid from Bangladesh as an international studies student. He looked at that man behind, so I'm surprised he didn't bust his retina. And he had a smile, I mean, like a Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland, looking down at that man's behind. And he was so close up on it, I bet you they could feel each other. Now, go back and see the video. Don't believe me. I love when people say he's lying. I love when people say he's just saying that. I love when people say I'm making it up. Because when you go and look for yourself, you're going to say, oh, my God. I got a call from South Carolina from my cousin, Reverend Robert Short, whose father's friends to Coonburn, and they know I dog him. I talk to him about every chance I get, called me up crying because nobody wanted to acknowledge that they saw Biden grinning at this man's behind.
Judge, how many times have I said it, Judge? The reason why black people favor Joe Biden, and actually, to tell you the truth, it ain't in their favor because the young people don't even favor him that much, by the way, but because of Barack Obama. Very thorough. That's why, because you see Barack Obama, oh my God, I love him. Well, what do you love him for? He didn't do anything for you. Matter of fact, he did more to hurt you than help you, as a matter of fact. So what are you flocking to Barack and Michelle Obama for? They didn't do anything. I mean, they, lit up the White House in rainbow flag, which actually the rainbow flag has black and brown in it after the month of June, after Pride Month. You see they put the black and brown in it. Oh, we're in solidarity. So you use George Floyd death to try to get more gay laws. What did Joe Biden say if he gets in office? The first thing he says, I'm going to allow 11 million undocumented immigrants to come in the country, and I'm also going to advance the rights of gays and trans. What do gays and trans have to do with black folks? You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, I'm down here in Virginia, right? You know that, right? we got this wacko governor named Ralph Northam. We got this stooge named LeVar Stoney, who's probably the one of the sorriest mayors I've ever heard of. I mean, he's a coon, he's a clown, he's a fake. Matter of fact, to tell you the truth, I called him a coon in the public right on the steps of City Hall. I have no problem outing him like that. Don't care. I told him you a coon in the club one time. I saw him in the club. So I have no problem doing that. But however, when we talk about Barack Obama, we got to understand that we got pimped for 8 years from a guy who really shouldn't have been U.S. president. Also, I want to say one other thing, Judge and Bishop. I was talking to a brother that's been on this show before. July 8th, I think they have invited President Trump to come to Chicago, and the Dyke mayor, Lori Dykefoot, is trying to say, Trump, you and I welcome. We don't want no racists out here coming to Chicago. But Lori Dykefoot, you haven't done anything to stop all these killings that happened over Chicago over the last 3 months or since you've been in office. So if Donald Trump says he wants to send federal help to help these violent cities, and Chicago's not the only one. He said he's looking to send federal help to these cities. Black people in Chicago are crying out for Donald Trump to send them assistance, and Lori Dykefoot will not do it. She was so busy last week at a trans march, but a shootout's going on in the town. So forget these gay black leaders who sold out. Fuck you, John Lewis. You mean die, commit suicide, do something. I mean, just kill yourself.
All right, guys. So in the name of strong language and sensitive content, I'm going to stop it right there. I told you guys they get pretty rough during our live broadcasts and private sessions, so I reserve everything that I considered hardcore for patreon.com/ValerieDeniseJones. So just join me over there for the rest of that portion of the private session. Now, during the session, someone said something very, very interesting, and I'd like to share that with you now. I do think it got a little out of hand there towards the end, so it's possible I might have to stop it again because of strong content. Don't want to offend anybody over here, so again, just meet me, patreon.com/ValerieDeniseJones, if in the event I can't share all of it with you. All right, so let's get started. Here we go.
So 804-295, 804-295, and I'm going to go from there to 904-386. But 804, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yeah, I just, good evening, everyone, again. I just wanted to review back to what was said pretty much about why Black people, Joe Biden, and why Black people are continuing to support Black Lives Matter. And I think something we have to recognize is that millions and millions of dollars have been contributed to deceiving Black people through mass media, whether it's the news, television, music, movies, whatever it is. And that it plays a big part on why our people are supportive of these entities that actually work against us. They also are not really receptive to information that doesn't come from a source like, I don't know, CNN, like these big corporations that have put money into being able to portray their image or portray whatever message it is. And we have to break that cycle. We have to make sure that our children are informed that the things that are put out to inform us is not really to inform us, it's more so to deceive us. And I also wanted to just say something about when we were talking about removing the statues and whatnot. I don't see how this can be effective as far as progression. We've already erased history, lied about history. Removing statues and erasing history is not going to make us progressive. It's not going to make us move forward. We need to attack the systematic racism and systematic injustices that we face as Black people every day. We live in a society, in a functioning society, where everything around us is based on racism, and we don't even see it. We don't even know it. And people don't even want to listen to it. That's just my piece.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so this is the last one then, 904-386. I just wanted to check with you. I know you said you mostly wanted to listen, but did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yes, I do.
Okay, welcome to everybody. This is Leroy.
Yeah, how you doing? Doing my study of history and everything, every black organization that challenged the system for that revolutionary change that the judge was talking about, no way possible. The FBI, CIA, they infiltrated Noble Drew Ali, Marcus Garvey, even the Nation of Islam. No way. No way. They put where we make this big stance for revolutionary, but we don't have the revolutionary power because we don't have the economical power. If you ain't got the economical power, you're making a stand. That's all you're going to do. Because economics controls this nation. And every black organization that came, right on, brother, power to the people, have went down. Is that right? I mean, that's history. That is plain history.
Well, that is correct.
And look, I got one more thing to say. Then you had Elijah Muhammad, the Muslim, which I am, really made a strong stand. But when they started getting the money in the economics, even the time that when the brothers were killed out in California, Elijah Muhammad wasn't going to rise up and go against them because it was making that money. And they didn't want to see the Muslim nation, FBI, CIA, go in and kill them. It's about economics. If you ain't got an economic base, your revolution is 100% going to fail in America. That's all I got to say.
Let me say something about that. Economics, money, it's a tariff. It can be used to influence power, but power can come in and take the money. If you look at the Italian community, if you look at the Irish community, they exercise coherent power and, when necessary, violence. And they were able to impose a certain kind of order where they live. You see, we don't have the imposition of order by appropriately applied violence. We just have violence by some little sissified hood rat boys that are essentially lesbians in boys' bodies. Lesbians and the hood rat are raised like girls. They like girls, nookie, but they have different plumbing. And if somebody like, what's that freak that wears the dress all the time? Billy Porter. Whatever his little behind is, waved the magic wand, and a lesbian woke up with a penis tomorrow, she would be just like your typical hood rat thug. That's what's wrong with our communities. We have to be able to deal with consequence. We have to deal with by any means necessary. And you have to steel yourself to understanding that the survival of the group is important. And sometimes to be a man, you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself for the good of your group. But we don't have that. We'll commit suicide by one of your fellow citizens, just like people commit suicide by cops sometimes. But you see, we don't think like men. And we have to adopt this thing, and we have to do man up. If you want to have revolution, evolution, you need men. And if you don't have men, you get nowhere. Because you got a bunch of girls out there. Like right now, they got a thing out in L.A. honoring Bayard Rustin, Martin Luther King's gay sidekick. And Bayard Rustin, I know from being a last judge on that killing of Dr. King, I know what damage he did. And what he set up by the fact that he couldn't keep it under control. So it's a danger. We have some people like that What's that masochistic freak down there from Georgia? John Lewis. Oh, my God. He's a masochist. He liked to be down on his knees getting whipped. I think he got off on it and wet his pants a time or two. We don't need anybody like that leading the damn thing. And let me tell you something that you need to be aware of, everybody. As BLM does not represent us, as BLM is getting recorded by history as the Black Lives Matter movement, so was the Civil Rights Movement. It was not what they put it out in the history books right now for all black people, because there were a lot of blacks who fought in World War II, in Korea, or even back in World War I, and they resented deeply these people getting down and letting a redneck whip them across the head until some other rednecks felt guilty. But history is recorded as the Civil Rights Movement era. Just like they're recording this right now is the Black Lives Matter movement era. And just like the one right now is not an accurate reflection of black people, the one back then wasn't either.
This is Bishop Scott, and I agree with everything that's being said. Truly, we have to look at this thing from a different perspective, in my humble estimation. First of all, we are, because this can work to our advantage, and this is what I'm talking about. Most of us live in communities that are predominantly us. Most of us do, particularly those who are in the cities, Philadelphia, wherever the case may be, Chicago, Baltimore, and the like, New York, and the rest. We all live in cities, and we all are cloistered in approximately around the same area from each other. Now, I'm going to study. I'm going to make a deep and involved study with a group that we need to look at very seriously, and that is the Chinese in America. In most major cities, if not all major cities, from San Francisco to Philadelphia to New York to Baltimore, everywhere I know, they have a Chinatown. And in that Chinatown, they have banks, they have lending institutions, they have grocery stores, they have even medical places where people can go, maybe not hospitals, but they have medical facilities. They have a world into themselves because they all are located in that one area. All their businesses are located in that one area. They have really, and if you look at the Asian community, they have a higher rate of keeping their money within their community even than the white people do. They have a higher rate of keeping it in there the longest than even other people. And so I think we need to really look at other groups who have been successful and who are still minorities. They're Chinese, so they're not that many Chinese. We have more black Americans than there are Chinese in this country, but yet they are still most of the restaurants we go to. If we go to Chinese restaurants, I don't know a black person doesn't go to a Chinese restaurant one time or another. So I mean, they really are prosperous. They'll come into your community, take from our community, and then they go back to their community and build it up with our monies, and make sure that they're prosperous. They give inheritance to their children and all the rest of that. And we still are at square one, being here the longest, over 400 years, and we're still at square one, where all these other people have come. Some of them were even our former enemies, the Koreans, the Vietnamese. Well, we fought them at one time, the Iraqis, the Pakistanians. We have actually been adversaries of theirs. They come to our nation, and then we have to buy from them within our own community. You're right, there is a need for economics, but we need to look at it from a very strategic perspective and not so much in the typical way that other people think that we need to do. We need to understand how we can organize ourselves. Maybe we can't organize. Maybe we're so fractionalized, purposely done over the centuries by the majority group that we really are at odds with each other. We can't come together as a group the way we need to come together. Maybe that's true, but I think it would behoove us not to try, if not for ourselves, for our children, children's children, and even children's children's children, to at least make an effort to see how we can consolidate ourselves. And it's not going to be 100%. It's never 100% of anything. Never does everybody join in the fight. It's still going to be a small number. Maybe if we get 50%, 45% of the people really rallying together. We need to take into accountability those who are already in the billionaire and millionaire class amongst us. Put them to the fire. All this stuff, paying for the funeral of our dead citizens, that's the best you can do? It's fine. We thank you as a family, but as a people, that does nothing for us. That does nothing for us. So you pay for George Floyd's funeral. So you pay for Sean Brooks' funeral. Fine, beautiful. Thank you so much. But that's a gesture again. That's once again one of them empty gestures when it comes to our community. We got to stop these momentary samples of philanthropy and humanity and look at it from a larger perspective.
Yeah. Can I make another comment on the economic thing about it? The brass tack strong arm of America, when it comes down to the market, we got to have something to feed off of. And other people around the whole world has come to America. They have to feed off us, the black man, our money, our community. And every time we get a stronghold, like Black Wall Street, something will happen to bring it down. So it ain't all our fault. It's designed to keep us there, to keep other people down on us, to feed off of, just like slavery and the slaves. All about economics. Democracy in America got to have something to feed off of, and we are the people of America that most people come to feed off of their wealth and power.
Yeah, if I can make a quick point on that.
Every nation has to have a bottom class. And we have become that bottom class. Every nation has to have a bottom class. But then what do? Do we just shrug our shoulders and say, well, we're the choice, so let's just live with our bottom class positions and satisfy ourselves with that? Let me tell you something. I know the Russian Revolution. They were called serfs, but the serfs got together with the peasants, and the peasants got together with the sailors and the soldiers, and eventually that became a movement called the Russian Revolution, led by the Bolshevik Party. But it came out of the serfs, which were the lowest class, who looked to the peasants, which was the next lowest class. And by, the lowest class said, I'm tired of being the bottom feeder, the one being bottomly fed. I'm tired of it, and I'm not going to take it no more. You got these czars that have crowns that are worth $50 million, and here I am struggling just to get a piece of bread. I'm tired of this. And when they all got together and got tired of being tired, we've been here 400 years, we still ain't tired of being tired. Not tired enough. Not tired enough. We ain't tired enough to do anything significant. And that's a sad commentary. Even the Jews got out of Egypt in 400 years. We've been in this situation for over 400 years with no end in sight.
If I can make a quick point, if you read Dr. Claude Anderson's book, Powernomics, Dr. Claude Anderson breaks down exactly why black communities are in the shape it's in, especially economically. And when you talk about other groups, as the bishop alluded to, the reason why those groups are able to, we have that in New Orleans. We have a Vietnamese community right in New Orleans East that have practically their own neighborhood, their own businesses, and so forth. The reason why it's easier for these businesses to come into the black communities and set up shop, for instance, is because it's very simple. They can actually be deported compared to what we can't. That can't happen to us. We don't have a green card or anything like that. So if they get out of line, they know they can be sent back. They can get these, monies and so forth from these banks and set up their own shops and businesses. And what they do on top of that, instead of just spending it in their community, they build it up and they'll send part of it back to overseas where their other family members are. And they actually have their children that are there, their young children, they grew up in the business. And when this one business is successful and they want to build another business, they're able to do that. Arab communities, for instance, in 2000, if you read Dr. Claude Anderson's book further, they made $69 million in Michigan, up there in Detroit, in a little neighborhood, in a very small part of Detroit, in that black community. And they only make up not even less than 1% of the population now. So you just think about that, how they were able to do stuff like that is because they're given those advantages. Now, with us, how many black banks do you know of? I mean, how many black banks and financial institutions can we get that would actually support our businesses? I know of one, and honestly, they don't act black. You know, I know of one down here that I've had personal issues with. I'm not saying I'm not to support them, but you know, it is what it is. We don't stay on code for shit. So but that's just my 2 cents. Oh, and one more thing, Judge, when you talked about Black Lives Matter, very interesting. I don't know if you guys saw this over the weekend. I was watching Thor Ragnarok. There was a commercial that was running. I caught it at least 4 or 5 times. Every time Thor went on break, called Your Pride Flag. And they were showing the protesters, and they were mixing it, and you saw signs saying Black Trans Matter and the rainbow flag and Black Queers Lives Matter. So they don't hide the fact that this movement has been taken over. It's really explicit now, and more slowly people are starting to wake up.
I agree with you, Counselor. That's exactly the case. That is exactly what's happened. It's called being co-opted. Now, here's something that I want to make very clear. Black people know economics. The Africans want to come to America so they can take advantage of the economic opportunities. The people from the Caribbean want to come to America so they can take advantage of the economic opportunities. You're in Jamaica and somebody is telling you he's got to go because he's got to be up and open his shop by 7 a.m. We don't get it. You see, our culture has for a long time valued shiny little trinkets over substantial reality. Can't get black people to be willing to line up to die for a cause. Other people do. And until we do, we will get nowhere. We are not going to get any economic prosperity in old line markets because they are glutted, they're consolidating, they're becoming mega giants that have the advantage of extremely large lots and units in which they buy. We can't compete with that. Our salvation, if it lies, will be with technology when some of our young black people start getting into science, technology, engineering, and math and invent something so you can have the equivalent of a dot-com revolution where there is a new something that opens up that is not glutted, that one of us made the key invention to open up. And until we do that, we don't get it because we keep talking about going back to late Stone Age subsistence farming. We talk about getting land. Well, how are we going to defend the damn land? And we got this Pollyanna thing, this kumbaya thing about we're going to get rid of the Constitution and we're going to get some land. And if you do, and I'm still halfway healthy, I'm going to put a whole lot of people on the wall, shoot them, all the pimps, hoes, drug dealers, prostitutes, all of the robbers, thieves, rapists, and murderers. I'm going to put them on a wall and shoot them. And I'm going to shoot most of the black leadership because, in my opinion, they're irrelevant, and I'll be fearless leader. And if not me, somebody like me. So, I mean, we got to start thinking real instead of in pipe dream, trinkets, shiny objects, and insignificant symbolism. This is real. The world is rough. It's not a fair place. The universe is not a fair place. And we keep running around like some kind of kumbaya nonsense is going to suddenly occur and somebody's going to give us something. One of us touched on it earlier when we first started off today. Bishop, I think it was you. You said something about explaining what the different branches of government do. We're listening to jackasses talk about what they're going to do about reparations or not reparations, and they don't have the constitutional authority to do a damn thing about it. It's got to be an Appropriations and Enablement Act that comes out of Congress, the House and the Senate.
Come on now, Judge.
And we are stupid enough to go around talking about the answer to our problems is reparations. Damn fool, get up off your dumb butts and understand it's like a lottery. It would be damn fine if you won it But to plan your whole life around all we need is reparations and everything's going to be all right, you are a damn fool. And if you do get reparations, I'm going to take a considerable portion of my money and invest in athletic shoe places so I can get some of your damn money back when you spend it on Jordans and Nikes.
Can I
now,
come in and say
this?
this?
Real. We got to start thinking for tomorrow, not just today, not just for tomorrow, but 10 tomorrows away, 10 years away, 20 years away. This mess that we have been submerged in, where this LGBT queer bunch is taken over, I heard them plotting it, planning it, laying it out, and swearing dedication to it 50 years ago. And they've done it, and we don't even study it.
Can I come in and say this, Judge?
Sure.
I want this is Rex. I want to get to Stone Mountain because I used to live in Atlanta in the 80s and 90s. And matter of fact, when I came from New York in 1977. I went to high school there, out in Decatur, a high school called Cedar Grove. This is when Atlanta was beautiful. It was metropolis. This is before hip-hop culture, before reality television. I'm talking about Maynard Jackson time. This is the greatest time ever to be in Atlanta, Georgia. In Georgia, in Atlanta, for crying out real loud, there's certain places you don't go, and it is the South. I'm talking about Stone Mountain, out there in the country, Cobb County, all these little places in the South. Let me tell you something about what's happening in Stone Mountain with the militia. Bad move. Bad move. Now, all the conversation I heard today on this wonderful show is Black History valid. But let me tell you something. Black people and niggas are not ready for revolution at all. It's just a hip-hop thug record on Warner Brothers, and it's just on television. Because real revolution, niggas and blacks are going to hide behind the building and shake like Barney Fife and Mayberry. Okay? I wish they would have called me before they went to... I really would have wished they would have called me before they went to Stone Mountain. Because when you piss Bubba off... See, Bubba been had this shit planned. Black people and niggas ain't ready for shit. They had too much reality shows. They had too much brainwashing.
Yeah, let me stop it right there. Too much for virgin ears. So I am going to stop it. And guys, you will just have to meet me over on Patreon, patreon.com/Valerie Denise Jones. Please support this platform. All of the links are down in the description box. Also, you can hit the like button, share, sign up for the alerts, and also meet me down in the comment section. I'm also on social media, Instagram at Valerie Denise Jones, Miss Valerie Denise Jones. So yeah, just jump on in wherever you'd like to jump in and support, because over here, we specialize in intellectual stimulation. So whatever you can do, we definitely appreciate it. Please, please, please support. Tell a friend who will tell a friend. All right, so I gotta go. Love you to life. Bye.
Today's show is sponsored by My Olive Leaf. Please visit myoliveleaf.biz to shop for olive leaf extracts, which will assist your efforts to transform your life, detox your body, increase your energy, get restful sleep, and rid your body of antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. Do not delay. Contact the MOL reps today. Please visit myoliveleaf.biz for their full line of olive leaf extracts and moringa products. Oh yeah, for those of you who would like a personal consultation, please call the MOL reps at 612-567-3263. Also visit their website and social media pages for the latest on sales, new releases, and more.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt your program, but I really have to let you guys know something. One of the problems that we have in the holistic community is that there are too many people uncertified that don't really know exactly what it is that they're doing. In fact, we can take that to the fitness community as well. I am a certified personal trainer. I'm a certified sports nutritionist. I'm a certified master herbalist. I am a certified elite calisthenics specialist, and I am also a naturopathic doctor. My name, for those of you that don't know, is Dr. Inky. And when you come to our website, UnitedPlatesOfAmerica.org, Yes, UnitedPlatesOfAmerica.org, like the plates you eat on, or the plates you put on your bench press bar, or the plates that the soil where the herbs and the food grow from, the tectonic plates, those kind of plates. UnitedPlatesOfAmerica.org. When you come to the website, not only do we have certification for you in calisthenics, we offer that through the calisthenic king of all calisthenic kings, none other than HIT. We got HIT, okay? So we're offering that to you guys. We have books for education. We have everything that you guys really need to not only transform your life in terms of your health, but to transform your life in terms of your karma, in terms of your creativity, and in terms of your entrepreneurship, your business, and your fiscal well-being.